Nowadays, what we're seeing a lot of times in the area of references for employees who have either left the company voluntarily or maybe even terminated for cause are what happens when a prospective employer then contacts the firm, the business, whomever it might be, for a reference. Sometimes employers are hesitant to give references because they don't want to say anything negative about the company, about the employee, excuse me, and they also don't want to give misinformation. The downside of today's kind of social structure in terms of employee references is that oftentimes companies will only give quote-unquote neutral references, which means that when an employer contacts them, a potential employer contacts them about a former employee, they're going to give the title of the position and the dates that the employee held that position. And they're not going to comment about the abilities of the employee or how the employee performed their job duties or responsibilities. That can be harmful to the employee in securing a future position of employment. And then, of course, if the employee remains unemployed, always begs the question about whether that state of unemployment might drive them to actually file a claim in court. So the question of references is always a tricky one. In terms of employee references, you also have the concern that a supervisor or a manager might give a reference without the company's authorization. And that's something that can be addressed easily in handbooks or policies. And certainly references can be directed only to a certain core group, for example, a human resources group, or say a CEO of a company or an owner of a company in a smaller employer setting. And that way you can avoid the potential of having information being given out without authorization or consent.